Okay, let's get started. Couple announcements first. On Thursday, we will be having our guest speaker. The first one is coming, Dr. Traska, and she's going to bring all the information and the brain mapping. She won't be able to bring the equipment with her, but she will have all of the pictures and the process, and she's going to walk through all the process with. So be prepared. Think about questions you might want to ask her about the neuroscience. Thinking from your point of view, from teachers, from personal, thinking about what else would you like to learn from her. She's giving you the complete background with it, with what brain mapping does, and how do you then in turn use that to help all different ages of people. So think about questions that you might want to know and be prepared when she comes. Also, I reposted the syllabus again on Edmodo because for some reason, like Susan said, it was empty, and I don't know what's happening with it. But again, all the questions for your teacher interview are in here. The protocols, these are the questions. Again, where it says to set up the video or the audio taping, that's only for your own purposes. That's not for me. I don't want to get the audio. It's easier for you to audio tape when you're interviewing someone so you can take it back later when you're scribing your answers and responses to listen back to make sure you haven't missed anything. These are some basic questions of ideas that we have covered through the class, but I also included down here to create a question or a couple questions that reflects an interest you might have that you want to really know from the person you're interviewing. Make it personal and meaningful so that you take this information away to be a better teacher. Especially as many of you are interviewing someone like your favorite teacher or someone that you were really close to, so you may want to know something in particular. Maybe something that you did with that teacher and say, I wondered when, so that's okay to make it personal. And then just do a synopsis at the end. What did you learn from interviewing this person? Did anything impact you to think about for your future career?
Do you want us to think for the questions? Do you want us to type the questions and then put the answers?
You can, because that probably is easier for you.
So like it can be that.
Like a script, absolutely. You could question, answer. That'd be fine. Okay, any other questions on that? All right. No, the interview is due by last class. But your research paper, I put the date on, what was the date I put on? The 1st. The research paper is due on the 1st, and then all the presentations begin. And again, think about your PowerPoint, your presentation, like no more than 15 minutes, just to give us a complete synopsis. Yeah, yeah. You can make it interactive. I mean, you're teaching us what you've learned through research. So it can be interactive. I don't want you to just read off, all your information. Show us what you learned from doing your research. Okay, so we're going to finish up today looking further into the culture diversity, which is a huge. In fact, did you see the many different aspects of college life now that many universities now are having reactions to culture and diversity on the campuses? And Niagara the other day had a protest. So think about it as a classroom teacher, with the culture and diversity and honoring that in the classroom. So I thought we'd reteach ourselves today, and then we'll get into the gender after. But thinking about that, most of you have submitted this chapter on Edmodo already. So we're going to split into, I'm going to do 6 groups today, so we can go through it a little faster. And thinking about culture, diversity, and population in your classroom and how to address it. And I want you to think about what's the current issue right now since now the shooting in Paris. What's the big issue right now that now there's this huge debate and it will impact our area, the refugees. So what are we hearing now? Because remember when I talked last week in class and I told you about the number of refugees that do come to this area and immigrants. Think about that debate. How will that affect us in schools? And what do you think? Have your group talk about it. What do you think about not allowing any refugees into our area? How do you feel about it? Pro, con? I mean, there's lots of families involved, and they do say that the process is a long-term process, which I'm aware of. I mean, refugees just don't decide, oh, today I'm going to leave the country. It's a long process. But what do you think about that? So talk about that in your group when you're talking about your part of the culture diversity. So let's just count off by, I think we could do it by 3. Yeah, let's count off by 3s. Let's start in the back with Susan.
3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1.
Brianna, 2? 3? Okay. All right. I'm just going to randomly have you pick a group. Oops. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Okay. So then, you're a 3. What number are you? Meg, what number are you? 1?
2.
2? Oh, good. Here, Giselle, you're a 3, so that's what your group is going to work on. How did I do this?
You counted us off by,
Pardon me?
you counted us off by 3. So
I know.
Yeah, we're 3.
do you want us to get in our groups and then you?
Yeah, get in your groups, and then whoever has the rest of them, then I'll split these out. Here, Giselle. Okay. Ones are up here. You're 3? You're 2? 2 here. 3? 3's over here. Andrea, I just want to make sure you're checking. I saw you were here, and I turned around. I'm like, wait. She's like, that's a loud. You don't have a card yet? You have one. You have one? Oh.
Oh, you have one?
We have page 221 guidelines.
If this group is too big, how about if we split? Are you too large?
No, they're just kind of like consolidating that instead of
Okay. Because if we want to split off and do, if you two want to do the first one. Yeah, do you want to do that? Is this too large? You want to split off into 2? Pardon me?
If we have to.
If you have to?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Do you want to do 3 and 3? That way I'll cover. Thanks. Because Sydney's on her way too, so I'll have to put her into one of the others. You decide how you want to. There's some chart paper on top. Let me see if I brought the rest of my. Yes, you can go to the top.
Okay, so I'll do number rolls up until
Or the whole page on 227? Because the sheet just says continuing. Yeah,
The whole thing.
the whole page.
Yes.
Okay.